Hello students, today we will start with our history lesson chapter 1, Historiography, Development in the West. Students, we have studied history from lower classes. What is history? History is the study of the past events. In history, we study about the life of people. We have studied about various kings, how they ruled, their failures, their achievements, about the state of art, literature, culture and civilizations. And how do we get all this information? Yes, through the different sources. And history is derived from the Greek word historia, which means inquiry or knowledge acquired by investigation. That is, we are asking for information. Systematic research is done to gather the information. Herodotus was the father of history. A historian is a person who studies and writes about the past. Historians are concerned with the continuous research of the past events as well as the study of all history in time. So, historical research, writing and studies are carried out with an objective of understanding the chronology of the past events and their interconnections. Now students, we know history is different from physical and natural sciences. In physical and natural sciences, we can perform experiments. We go to the laboratory. We are having some formulas, some laws. But in historical research, it is not possible to use the empirical method. So to carry out the historical research, we need an expert who knows the language and the script of the historical document so that they are able to read it and understand its meaning. As these documents have been written centuries, that is years and years ago, and the experts, that is the historians, they are the experts. They should examine the authenticity of the document. Authenticity means they are authentic, the documents are real, they are the actual documents which were written, original, genuine, they are not fake. And how do they vote? Criteria they use are they check the lettering style, author's style of writing, whether the paper which was used is that old ancient paper, and the stamps, they are not duplicate. So such a document is further scrutinized by the historians with the help of various disciplines. That is, they use methods of various disciplines in the historical research. They are archaeology, that is study of ancient remains, manuscriptology, archival science, numismatics, analysis of the lettering style, genealogy, epigraphy, linguistics. Children, this question is mostly asked in your concept map or concept chart. And you remember the acronym as A, Manage, L. It will be easier for you to remember. We have learnt about the historical research method, critically examining the historical sources and then writing the historical narrative. This writing of the critical historical narrative is known as historiography. What is critically examining? Critically examining, students, as we said, that they have to verify the evidence, they have to verify the sources, the authenticity. And a scholar who is a knowledgeable person who writes such a narrative is a historian. Ancient people felt the need of passing on the stories of their life to the next generation. Though writing of historical narrative, that is historiography, was not prevalent. So the ancient communities all over the world used various means. You have already studied about that. Cave painting, storytelling, singing songs. These traditional means are looked upon as the sources of history in the modern historiography. There are four main characteristics of modern historiography. The first method is that it is based on scientific principles. It begins with the formation of relevant questions. Now, relevant question means the questions which are appropriate. They are asked based on the sources which are available. The next is these questions are anthropocentric. Anthropocentric means they are based on human-centric questions. The questions are about the deeds of the people of the ancient society. The human beings are given more importance. You can see in that picture, children, the human beings are the topmost of the species that are in the universe. The third characteristic is answers to these questions are supported by reliable evidence. Reliable means that you can trust, which you know is truthful, you can depend on. The source is a reliable source. It is based on a strong evidence. Evidence is, children, whether the facts or information which you have gathered is true, it is valid, it is authentic. Because a reliable source will be useful to the historian, so it can provide accurate details to him so that he can write the outline of the events. Whichever he writes will be accurate. The fourth characteristic is that the history presents a graph of mankind's journey with the help of the past human deeds. You can see in this picture the earliest inscription in the Louvre Museum. The tradition of recording the historical event can be traced back to the Sumer civilization in Mesopotamia. And in the next picture, children, you can see that prior to the 18th century, all the universities, that is the European universities, were interested only in the philosophical discourses, that is discourses only revolving around God. However, this scene changed and the Göttingen University was founded in Germany. This university for the first time had an independent department of history. The contributions of many scholars was important in the development of historiography. So let us have a look at the contributions of the few notable scholars. René Descartes was a French philosopher, and he was the first scholar who insisted before writing the historiography, he insisted never to accept anything, any source of history as true till all grounds of doubt are excluded. Hence, the reliability of a source, like any historical documents, should be verified while writing history. And according to René Descartes, in his book Discourse on the Method, rules given by him are supposed to have a great impact on the scientific method of research. Voltaire was a French scholar who was of the opinion that while writing history, we must give importance to the objective truth and the chronology of the historical events. Chronology means, children, when that historical event, that is a war, the dates. Then even prevalent social traditions, agriculture, trade, economic system should be given equal importance while writing history. So it was because of his view that all aspects of human life was considered for history writing. Therefore, he is said to be the founder of modern historiography. Now we will learn the contribution of a German philosopher, Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Hegel insisted that the historical reality should be presented in a logical manner. And he thought that the presentation of history is definitely going to change over time as new evidence will come forward. And in order to understand the true nature of a thing, one needs to know both the sides, that is, true and false, good or bad. Hegel put forward this method of analysis of history which is based on opposites. And this method is known as dialectics. A theory is proposed at the beginning, it is called thesis. Then another contrary theory called antithesis is proposed. Finally, after discussion on both thesis and antithesis, a new thesis which is having the gist of both is reached, and that is called as synthesis. The next scholar we will learn about is Leopold von Ranke. Historiography of the 19th century was greatly influenced by his thoughts. He spoke about the critical method of historical research, and he gave importance to gathering information from the original documents. He also stated that all the original documents related to the historical events should be examined in detail and with great care. He also believed that with this method it was possible to reach the historical truth. According to him, there should be no imagination, your own story, your own history we must not write. He did not give importance to imaginative narration in writing history. Karl Marx was a German communist thinker. Das Kapital was the world famous book written by him. According to Karl Marx, history was not about abstract ideas, it was about living people. Human relationships are shaped by the fundamental needs of the people. According to him, the social class, that is the society, the people that hold the means of production, that is, means of production means those who have the facilities, those who have the resources for producing goods. In short, those who are rich, those who have money, they exploit the poor people. Thus, it is what is created a group of haves and have-nots in society. So, according to Karl Marx, human history is the history of class struggle. As the class, as the society, people in the society that owns the means of production, economically, that is financially, exploits the rest of the classes. That is, the second class is made up of workers and the poor farmers. Now, a new school of historiography arose in France, and this school was known as Annales School. An idea was put forward that history is not just about political events, kings, great leaders, wars, politics and diplomacy. Till today we were only learning history about the kings, about the leaders, about the war. But this new school brought about a change. They said, historiography, it is also about climate, local people, agriculture, trade, technology, means of communication, and their collective psychology. The French historians were the pioneers of the Annales School. Now, the restructuring of the history from the perspective of women, that is, from the women's point of view, is called feminist historiography. This thought of writing feminist historiography was given by a French feminist scholar, Simone de Beauvoir. Feminist historiography gave importance to include women in history, which was not done earlier, and to rethink on the male-dominated perspective of history. History was written only giving importance to men. But now, after the French scholar Simone de Beauvoir gave her thought that even women should be included in history. So later, many aspects of women's life became the focus of the historical research, such as their employment, their role in the trade union, their family life. And after 1990, women were portrayed as an independent class. Michel Foucault was a historian from France. He wrote the book Archaeology of Knowledge. In his book, he insisted that the prevailing practice of arranging the historical events in a chronological order, that is, as the occurrence of the historical events, is not right. He gave importance to explaining the transitions that took place in history. Transitions, children, are the changes that have taken place over a period of years and years. He acknowledged the role of subjects such as science of medicine, psychological disorders, prison administration in historical analysis. But this was not acknowledged by the earlier historians. Michel Foucault called his method the archaeology of knowledge. Thus, the scope of historiography students kept continuously expanding. Writing of history of various subjects like architecture, literature, dance came into practice. And we will learn the various writings of histories in your next few chapters. Students, after listening to this explanation, after watching this video, watch it again, then it will register in your mind, and read the textbook. Then your matter will be very much clear. Thank you.